born in a land under constant threat of invasion, when the Spanish Empire sailed across the oceans, carrying their faith, their flag, and their fire. He was raised not in peace, but in the thunder of muskets and the clash of steel. His father was a ruler, his uncle a fighter feared by the invaders. While others learned to bow, he learned to fight. Even as a young prince, he led daring raids against Spanish strongholds. Even before he wore a crown, his name carried the weight of defiance. When his father's reign ended, he inherited a kingdom already burning. The foreign armies were advancing, their banners rising over the coasts, their cannons thundering in the distance. In 1637, Spain sent one of its most feared commanders, Governor-General Sebastián Hurtado de Corcuera, to end his rule once and for all. They came for him in their thousands. They found him in his mountain fortress, a citadel carved from rock and courage. For days, the battle raged. Cannons roared, muskets thundered, smoke and flame filled the air, but even the strongest walls fall. Wounded, surrounded, he retreated deep into the jungle. What the Empire thought was victory was only the beginning of their defeat. From the mountains and forests, he rose again, a phantom of vengeance. He called the tribal chiefs together, and his voice thundered through the valleys. Submit to the Castilians, and you lose everything: your faith, your land, your freedom. And they answered, and the land ignited. For years, his warriors struck from the shadows, burning outposts, raiding garrisons, turning the conquerors into prisoners of fear. The empire bled, its wealth drained, its armies broken. By 1645, the Spanish invaders had no choice. They agreed to a peace treaty, and for the first time, recognized his sovereignty. An unthinkable admission from an empire that bowed to no one, but he was no fool. He never trusted their treaties. While Spain plotted, he turned to trade and diplomacy with the Dutch, playing one power against the other, balancing power against power, keeping his realm alive and free. By 1650, it was proven he was right. The Spanish never truly accepted his rule. They broke the treaty. In 1662, a new threat arose. A Chinese warlord marched toward the Spanish colonial capital. The empire panicked. They had to make a choice: defend their capital or keep fighting their costly, failing campaign in the south. They could not fight two wars. The man who had tormented them for decades had made their outposts impossible to hold. Facing imminent threat, they abandoned the south. In 1663, the Spanish governor ordered the evacuation of all forts. The empire's banners were pulled down. Its soldiers sailed away. For more than half a century, no Spanish army would return. When death finally came for him in 1671, he died free. His people still stood unbroken, his kingdom unconquered. The ruler who made an empire retreat, the sultan who could not be subdued. The last voice of freedom in an age of conquest. The king who turned conquest into legend. His name was Dipatuan Kudarat.